Welcome to the South Shore Real Estate Podcast, where we unlock the doors to innovative real estate strategies, exclusive market insights, and expert advice tailored for today's savvy real estate agent. Evolving landscape of South Shore and Cape Cod real estate. Whether you're an experienced agent, an investor, a first-time home buyer, or just curious about the market, this is your go-to resource for cutting-edge trends, actionable tips, and stories that will inspire your next big move. Here, we don't just talk about real estate, we define it. Industry leaders, local legends, and trailblazers as we explored non-traditional paths that are shaping the future of real estate. From creative financing to unique investment opportunities, we're here to equip you with the knowledge and tools that you need to succeed. So whether you're driving down Route 3, enjoying the coast, or just relaxing at home, get ready to dive deep into the world of real estate with us. Welcome to the South Shore Real Estate Podcast, where the future of real estate is just one episode away.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for listening in to the South Shore Real Estate Podcast. My name is Carla Nee, and we are here today with Stacey Jordan from CMG Home Loans. Thank you for being here today, Stacey. How are you?
Good, Carla. Thank you for having me.
So, Stacey, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I have been working in mortgage, residential lending in the mortgage space for going on 25 years this year. I entered the industry when I purchased my first home when I was 23. I should back up a bit. I didn't really want to rent, and I was able to make that happen. And then when I was 2 years later, I had an opportunity to flip a home, and I did that successfully. And through that investment opportunity, I met a mortgage professional who said, you should quit your corporate job and get into mortgage lending. And also at the same time, I was starting my family. So it really aligned the schedule and the ability to, enter the world of real estate and mortgage lending was appealing to me, but also the entrepreneurial spirit of the industry. Being able to manage my own time schedule and really determine what my income will look like without asking for a raise was appealing. So anyhow, that's how I ended up in mortgage. And over the past 25 years, I've continued to invest in real estate simultaneously. As the mortgage market ebbs and flows, I'm usually doing mortgage and real estate development simultaneously. So that is how I ended up in the industry, and that's a little bit about myself. So yes.
Right. So where are you located?
I'm located in Hanover, Massachusetts. Is my I'd say my local office. However, I do travel back and forth to the Carolinas and Florida in some of the winter months. We have branch locations there. I am licensed in multiple states. CMG is licensed in every single state, so we can lend anywhere. Our footprint is large. So I do go back and forth a little bit in the winter months. As of last year, I started that expansion a bit, especially with the slowing down of mortgages, gave me an opportunity to develop other markets. So that's a loaded question, I suppose, but
Great. So Stacey, the reason why I asked you on the show today was to kind of fill us in on the mortgage side, what you're seeing on the South Shore since the NAR legislation has gone into effect.
So it's interesting for my seat, Carla, because I have the opportunity to really collaborate and speak with a lot of licensed agents, real estate agents in our immediate market. And now that it's been about a month, it seems like people are starting to feel a little more comfortable with the new rules, still trying to navigate and understand buyer agency and sort of new ways to communicate and either work with sellers looking to sell or buyers looking to buy. So that's just my observation. And as far as the lending industry and mortgage lending is concerned, we as an industry put out guidelines and policy earlier this year in anticipation of the 17th. And so as an industry, we've been positioned and prepared to support agents in this new change. And I think we have a little bit of advantage, and I say we, I mean mortgage industry, in the sense that if you were around in the 07-08 timeframe, and you were in the mortgage industry, we became a regulated industry and went through a tremendous amount of change. And so it for me, I understand what it's like to take on new legislation and try to interpret that and still figure out, well, where's my role in all of this? How do I do my job? How do I service my clients? How do I help people buy homes, sell homes? And how am I getting compensated for the work I do, right? So I can truly relate to the professional who's trying to navigate all the changes, and trying to find that sort of new normal in way of doing business. So I think I have lots of opinions on the changes. I do think that ultimately the industry is going to benefit from the level of professionalism that I think will come with a lot of this as time goes on.
I agree. It's really not that far-fetched if you just, now that we're in it, everybody was so scared, and it's really not that bad.
Right.
So what kinds of questions are you receiving questions from agents and from clients in regard to how that affects them on the mortgage side?
It's interesting. I have not received many questions from clients as of yet. More agents than clients. I anticipate with new buyers that come in to get pre-approved. I know one of the shifts that I've already made is I've changed my buyer consultation, around to include, discussions about buyer agency and paid commissions, because we all know that, until I think someone comes along and makes an offer on a home, you don't know how that's going to be structured, right? And part of my job is to prepare people financially for the purchase of a new home. And that's also looking at assets and budgeting and looking at post-closing reserves and helping people become really good conscious buyers and prepared not only to purchase the home and go move through that process, but when you're a homeowner, there's unforeseen costs. So I do spend time talking to my clients about all of that, very comprehensive. So for me, I have just shifted my consultations to include discussions that are centered around this. Staying in my lane is always been really important to me. I know what I know how to do my job as a lender, and so I'm really careful to not speak out of turn with respect to all the changes, but educate folks based on how it might pertain to them, based on options and how lending plays a role and what that looks like. So that's some of the shifts that I've made. So I expect moving forward that will change. And so most of the questions I'm fielding now are coming from colleagues in the real estate sphere, I'll say. As everyone's trying to navigate, and figure out what the options are and how to structure deals today.
Wow, that's great insight. Well, one thing that I know about you is you're always following not just the real estate market, but you follow the stock market
Yes.
to help your clients. Can you tell us a little bit about that, especially where the rates, are starting to soften a bit?
Yes, yeah, I'm happy to. So what's fantastic, as we know, is technology continues to evolve, making it easier in some cases to do our job or to gain access to information. Really, I think is it's a much easier, right, to get information today. And so fortunately, I utilize some technology platforms that allow me to watch the market on it, like you said, on a daily basis. It's one of the things that I truly enjoy doing. And I have so I have those tools to be able to look and see, what are rates doing throughout the day. They come out in the morning. We price based on the previous day closing, and then a few hours of trading in the morning. I have a great comprehensive understanding of how the stock market affects the bond market. The bond market is a direct correlation to what mortgage rates actually do. The Feds, as you know, that it made the decision yesterday to decrease the Fed funds rate by 0.5 point. Yay, which is very exciting, I think, for all of us. Initially, it was speculated only a quarter, so we got another quarter out of them. But I think, there's a lot of people out there that have been waiting for rates to fall to either utilize some of their equity, maybe do some debt consolidation, or perhaps even sell, with so many people sitting out there with a 3% rate, and you're going to trade that for a 7, it makes selling and buying a lot more difficult to do financially, as you experience from your seat, right? But I think I can move into, I'm digressing, but back to rates. So, I really enjoy this part of my job because it's constantly changing. You really need to keep your pulse on the market every day, and if you truly want to understand what mortgage rates are actually doing. Unfortunately, when you listen to the news, sometimes they're a week or two behind, quite honestly. So, the stock market and bond market trade for the same dollar. And when the Feds make decisions like they did yesterday, it doesn't directly correlate to what mortgage rates do. It's not a direct correlation, it's an indirect. I say we kind of play in the same sandbox, though. So when the Feds reduce or increase Fed funds rate, home equity lines are directly affected, home equity loans and credit cards and auto loans. So there's a direct correlation there, but mortgage rates are move around as well for those reasons. So we are excited to start to see rates come down and provide more opportunity for homeowners all around. So, yeah.
Hey there, South Shore agents. I've got something big for you. I'm Carla Nee, and if you're serious about leveling up your real estate game in 2025, you'll need to hear this. The South Shore Real Estate Summit is happening on May 7th, 2025, right in Marshfield, Massachusetts, and it's gonna be epic. This isn't just another real estate event with the same old advice you've heard 100 times. Nope. This summit is designed exclusively for real estate agents who are ready to break away from the traditional way of doing things. We're talking about fresh, unconventional strategies that will actually help you stand out in the market and crush your goals. You'll get a chance to dive deep into topics like creative deal structures, how to build and leverage your network, and turning those tough leads into loyal clients. And the best part, you'll be surrounded by other agents who are just as driven as you. Here's the deal. Early bird tickets are available right now, but they're moving fast and prices go up in November. And since this event is just for real estate agents, space is limited. If you want in on this, you've got to act fast. May 7, 2025, that's the date. We'll be at Stellwagen Beer Company in Marshfield, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. Grab your early bird ticket now at www.southshoreresummit before they're gone. This is your chance to take your career to the next level in 2025. So don't sit on this. May 7, 2025, lock it in, grab your spot, and get ready to transform your business. The South Shore Real Estate Summit, get your ticket today before it's gone, and let's make this year your best yet.
Hopefully I answered your question. I probably answered it and then some.
Yes, I find it interesting because ever since COVID, some people are still relying on the selling season versus the buying, not the selling season, but like
Yes,
the seasons of sales, say like spring and summer. And then, the slow seasons, and then other people are saying there's no seasons
mm,
anymore. So it's kind of interesting to see now that, they made that change yesterday, and we're going into what is traditionally the slow season,
right.
how that's going to play out.
I agree. I think it is going to be interesting. I know I think I flip-flop a lot on my own opinion as it pertains to what you just said. I've seen, I will say though, in my 25 years of snap window that I can refer back to, the seasons or distinct markets aren't as black and white as I feel like they used to be. It was a little more predictable heading into spring season and when spring season started, for example. Now it seems like the last several years, the spring market can start in February. So there's just too many factors today. And to your point, even with COVID, as we've evolved as a society, people working more remote, being able to do their job from anywhere, I think that's also changed. It's changed our housing patterns in the way in which we do things. But yeah, it's definitely a bouncing ball that's difficult to keep up with sometimes. I think that is.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you also invest. Can you tell us a little bit about what type of investments you're involved in?
Yes, my investment, or I say my real estate portfolio, has changed, is constantly changing and evolving. Actually, depending upon really what's going on in my life, what I have time and capacity for, what's happening in the mortgage business, and how busy I am with mortgage loans. And so to answer your question, in the early days of investing, I did a lot of flipping. Majority of what I did was flip homes, and then when foreclosures were in abundance, I changed my business model slightly to adjust to market conditions, and I was wholesale flipping. And mostly because I was doing so many mortgages, and things were so crazy with the regulation and the market crashed essentially. I shifted a bit. I didn't have as much time and capacity. So I did a lot of wholesale flipping. And then then I realized, I should start to retain some of this for long-term investment in retirement planning. So current day, I would say I have flipped over 30 homes. Like I said, I've done live auctions, purchased homes off live auctions. I own mixed use. I own large commercial. I own an office building with 60 virtual office suites, or not virtual, 60 office suites. I own residential. I own a couple short-term rental properties that I manage as well, which those are a lot more work these days. So I might be shifting my portfolio around. Um, yeah, so I think I've danced in most of the spaces. I get the only thing I haven't done is like REITs, like real estate investment trusts, and crowdfunding, and some of that I have avoided for myself personally. But I think I've owned just quite a combination of real estate at this stage. I've at least dabbled in every area to a degree. Yeah, so
Wow,
it's given me a great perspective. I over the years, I didn't talk about my real estate development side of my life as much because I didn't want to confuse my audience, my mortgage audience, right? And have people wonder, well, what does she actually do? I'm confused. So I've been very quiet about my real estate over the years as a result, but more recently started to really talk about it because I think it's important that people think, well, why work with me, right? Well, but I bring a lot more to the table. I bring a lot more substance than just, and I don't mean just, but working as a mortgage professional, I really do understand my clients because I'm really kind of in the thick of it as well with them. So whether it's just understanding the complexity of getting a mortgage and how fun that process can be at times, or explaining the why behind why we do things and what that really means. I really can relate. I can still very much relate after all these years.
wow. Um, you've really done pretty much. I mean, you've pretty much done it all, everything except for syndication, right?
I think so, yeah.
I would love to get to that spot in my life because you just hand them the money and you sit back.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I'm still building I'm still building and you know what, Carla, I have a couple of kids in college, so I keep joking. I have 3 to 4 more years before I can really step back and look at everything and say, okay, what are my next moves in life here
Right,
professionally, right? Uh,
right.
but it's been fun. I've learned a lot. I've made mistakes along the way and lots of them. A couple lawsuits. I mean, it's,
Yeah,
you know, comes
I've
with the
been there.
territory. Yeah. Yeah. But it's been a fun ride so far, and I've definitely learned a lot. So,
Wow. So one of your more recent purchases was it the Norwell Executive Center?
yes, yes, that's an exciting project. I bought that in May. I did a 1031 exchange. I had a mixed use property in downtown Plymouth, and it was wonderful, doing great property, but I had the opportunity to purchase the Norwell Executive Center, which consists of 60 office suites. And it just was a smarter place for me to move my money. And again, I was able to take advantage of tax-free deferred proceeds from the sale of the mixed use property. So I think longer term, this purchase will develop into more, wealth, I guess, as you think about real estate builds wealth. That's why we invest in it. So yeah, so I'm very excited, and I have not had much time to really dig into this business and building, because at first I was like, I'm buying this building, but I really bought a business along with it. So I'm excited to work on developing other income streams and where I can take it, but I haven't really had time. So, but it's not going anywhere. So yeah.
So, you know, right now we're kind I feel like people who work from home are wanting to get out of the home a little bit more, but still have some flexibility. In some people, there are co-working spaces, and then there are, these large buildings, and people are renting out offices from there. Does your building have anything? Tell us what your building has to offer.
Yes, it has as both what you just mentioned, but we have conference room space that's available for daily use, drop in, or days or weeks at a time if you have corporate events. We also have um, offices that can be rented annually or longer term than that. We do have a lot of professionals in the building, like CPAs and attorneys. We have quite a few therapists now. Yeah, so we've seen that grow quite a bit. But we also have some shared workspace where people can drop in and rent the office for just that one day. And we also have some co-work space. So we have individual offices you can drop into. We have co-working space, and we have longer term leases as well. And as part of our plan to expand the business is offering administrative services to small businesses. So we're currently building out some packages there. And eventually we would like to offer, the outdoor decking space as like events or business after hours. That's our, 12 to 24 month plan. We have to do some renovations to make that happen, but yeah.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, it is fun. It is really fun. It's a great community. This building and business has been here for a while in Norwell and well established. I have one business partner. This is the only property we own together. We used to flip back in the day. He worked for Auckland Foreclosure Bank. So he and I have this, which is beautiful partnership, and it really helps, to have somebody in business with you on a larger project like this, especially where I have another full-time job. So yeah,
Yeah, I agree. It always helps to have a good team,
yes, definitely, without a doubt.
especially somebody who has just as, you you have as much to lose.
You're right. And you know what, Carla, it's funny. I've had a few partnerships throughout my career, and a few that did not go so great, that I learned a lot from. But this particular partnership has been in existence for about 16 years now, and we truly work so well together. And in my opinion, the benefit, if you're going to enter into a partnership with anyone in business, you really have to look at what you're bringing to the table as individuals. And we have very different sets of skills. And and I believe that is one of the keys to why our business partnership works, is we have a different skill set, and I don't ever feel like I can replace him and vice versa. And we really, we both bring value to the table. And so I think that's why our partnership's lasted so long.
Yeah, I can relate to that. My business partner and I, we have a lot of the same interests, but we have very different skill sets. So where I'm lacking, she fills in, and vice versa. And it's like everything just seems to be so harmonious as
It's
far as the
beautiful when
business
that
goes.
happens, right?
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So you can
So,
relate to that.
yeah. So Stacey, I want to thank you so much for sharing all this information with us. And so where can people find you?
So if you Google Stacey Jordan mortgage, just that simple, I think you will find me in a number of places, on the big World Wide Web, and all the social media channels that we're all on these days. But one of my profiles will pop up very easily if you just Google Stacey Jordan mortgage. It's just the easiest way. You'll find me on social, you'll find my email and all of my contact information.
Awesome. And for those of you who are listening and on the road, I'll provide Stacey's contact information in our show notes. So everybody stay safe, stay healthy
Yes,
as we're coming into cold season,
I
and
know.
we'll see you later.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Are you a real estate agent looking to break away from the ordinary and offer your clients something truly unique? Then you won't want to miss the South Shore Real Estate Summit, happening on May 7th, 2025 at Stellwagen Beer Company in Marshfield, Massachusetts. This isn't your typical real estate conference. At the South Shore Real Estate Summit, we're shaking things up and challenging the status quo. We're bringing together the brightest minds in the industry to teach you unconventional solutions that will give your clients the edge in today's competitive market. Whether you're mastering creative financing, exploring non-traditional transaction methods, or leveraging innovative marketing strategies, this summit is packed with actionable insights that you can implement immediately. Our expert speakers are seasoned professionals who have successfully navigated these uncharted waters, and they're ready to share their secrets with you. Plus, the early bird pricing ends in October 2024, so don't wait. Secure your spot today. The South Shore Real Estate Summit is on May 7th, 2025 at Stellwagen Beer Company in Marshfield, Massachusetts. For more information and registration details, go to www.southshoreresummit.com. Are you a real estate agent looking to break away from the ordinary and offer your clients something truly unique? Then you won't want to miss the South Shore Real Estate Summit, happening on May 7th, 2025 at Stellwagen Beer Company in Marshfield, Massachusetts. This isn't your typical real estate conference. At the South Shore Real Estate Summit, we're shaking things up and challenging the status quo. We're bringing together the brightest minds in the industry to teach you unconventional solutions that will give your clients the edge in today's competitive market. Whether you're mastering creative financing, exploring non-traditional transaction methods, or leveraging innovative marketing strategies, this summit is packed with actionable insights that you can implement immediately. Our expert speakers are seasoned professionals who have successfully navigated these uncharted waters, and they're ready to share their secrets with you.
Plus, the early bird pricing ends in October 2024, so don't wait. Secure your spot today. The South Shore Real Estate Summit is on May 7th, 2025 at Stellwagen Beer Company in Marshfield, Massachusetts. For more information and registration details, go to www.southshoreresummit.com.